Hi. How to use oracle cards. I don't use them that often now, but every so often I do, and I love them still immensely. 13 years of using them, I very much used them in the first sort of 4 or 5 years, and in different ways they changed and grown. So my aim here is not necessarily to tell you exactly how to use your cards and what you should be, shouldn't be doing. Please just take from me what feels resonant or what is a kind of thought or an idea. The aim of cards is to use them as a tool. They're for spirit to connect with you. They're for your higher self source to connect with you. They're a way of being able to give you information. They're also a tool that allows you to feel your psychic self, your higher self, to get into commune with it, to get into communication, to get your own languaging happening. And that will change over time, hence why I rarely use cards now, because I don't need it. But in the very beginning, cards helped me understand my world. They helped me slow my world down. I was very busy as an interior designer and overwhelmed in life. They helped me look into areas I didn't even know about. So number one thing is that it's not always that this is going to give me the answer to everything. They may well be like, yeah, we know your family and love life are a mess, but we want you to look at certain things, heal those things first, then we can help you with that side of your story. Or yes, we know you hate your job, but right now you need to work on some self-love and some other things in your life. So don't try and be totally in control. One thing is to let yourself be in abandon, to be quite open, to be curious, and to allow yourself to unfold with spirit, to develop a relationship, to come to have your own knowing and language. So there are a lot of different cards. The oracle cards are the ones I've always gone to most. Affirmation cards are great too for setting intentions and working with energy. Tarot cards, I use tarot cards that are more oracle-like or run along the type of the tarot, but I've never really been a tarot person. But it's more the archetypes, and you'll find a lot of that in the oracles anyways. So finding cards that you like, cards that call to you, more than one set is generally needed because again, they can only work with what you offer. So the more sets you have, and that doesn't mean an excuse to go buy tons, but the more sets that they draw you towards, the more they can use. And then you'll find sometimes over time a set no longer resonates anymore. They've kind of said, yeah, you've used everything you need out of that. And maybe it might be time to pass them on, or they get relegated to the back and only used on occasion. You may also have stepped up your psychic abilities, right? And you're now having a much more direct communication in whatever way. There's also the ability that your intuition, your psychic capabilities have opened. You're getting more bandwidth, more consciousness, and you're communing with that really well. You're hearing different guides, you're hearing your higher self, you're communing directly with source even, as is more the case with myself now. So we don't always need these things. What else is there to talk about? So yeah, you could do a reading with one set of cards, you could do a reading with several sets of cards. There's no right or wrong. I tend to choose cards that I've got a shelf of them, I go along and I just let them draw me now. So I've got my sets of cards and I let them draw me. Which cards is it? In the very beginnings, I would constantly I'd do a reading every day, and I'd write it down. And I didn't always understand it. Sometimes I never came to understand it, but it was aligning me into certain energies and it was uplifting me from other things. It was taking me inward and giving me time with my spirit self, with my higher self, with my guides. It was allowing me to get into the energy flows. So there's a lot of reason why we use oracle cards, okay? They're not just to answer our questions. They're for our ascension, right? To live the mystic life, to get that way where you become the energetic experience rather than the energetic experience happening to you the way it has been, where we're locked down and life's not going the way we want. So let's see what I've got in my little notes here. Okay, the first thing up is to really relax. Get still, take some deep breaths, oxygenate. the energy come in. Invite your spirit team in. Invite source, your highest self. Ask for only that which is highest good for you, that which is appropriate for your growth. And you're looking to enlighten and uplift. So this is your intention, to enlighten and uplift. Now you may have a question with that, but everything is about enlightening and uplifting. And be prepared to take on some change. Sometimes we do this and we get the same damn cards over and over, and it's because you haven't actually moved and done any of the actions, right? So keep that in mind as well. Definitely have a journal so you can write things down. You can write down the cards, you can write down your thoughts, you can write down what it jogs as a memory, or what might have happened recently. Oh, it's relating to that. Look at the cards, what pictures are on there. Maybe write some of that down, take a note of that, not just the words that are on there. What it might just be, it's not the dog here, it's the yellow. Yellow, oh my God, yellow is really coming at me. What is it about yellow? Well, yellow is the bliss energy. It's the innate intelligence in the colour yellow, right? Could mean your sacral chakra. It could mean all sorts of things. So note all these things down. And if there's more to it that can't be answered in the cards, it will be answered over the next few days. Next thing you know, somebody's talking about sacral chakras being yellow, and you're like, I didn't even know what a sacral chakra was. That's where I was at the beginning, right? I had actually taken my entire studio and coloured all the chairs in multicolours and thought I was mad when I was following my intuition, listening to the, doing the pendulum. And I got all these fabrics and had all these multicolours. It was like a stupid rainbow. I was like, what the hell? And then my girlfriend, who led me in all of this and knew so much more and was wiser at the time, said, oh, they're the chakra colours. I was like, what are chakras? So there you go. Spirit is talking through everybody, leading you to the right place. It's all part of the journey. And the cards are a way of focusing us in on what's the next part of my journey. What else am I going to learn? What else am I going to do with my healing and my growing? Okay, let's go there, right? So clearing your mind, allowing yourself to be in a high vibration. So if you have something that is quite emotional going on, quite heavy, you may find it a little difficult to use your cards because those lower vibe energies can block us from our higher knowledge. It can help to use the cards, but you need to maybe make sure you're in a kind of high vibe time or not at your lowest. Maybe get a friend to help you with that so that they can pull the cards for you. There's a whole bunch of ways to get yourself into high vibe as well. So look for what it is you can lift yourself in that, so that you're getting a clearer picture, getting more connected and getting what it is you truly need, not what your ego or your trauma is showing up for you as. What else is there? So yeah, we want to ask Source to bring forth our highest good. So you just might want to sit with your cards for a moment, intend that good high vibe energy, feeling the strength of your own trust in yourself and the connection that is growing with Spirit and Source. Okay, so you've got a couple of ways that you can do this. You can shuffle the cards. I suggest, and this is something I learned when I was trying to shuffle them all the time like this and thought, how do people shuffle them? Like, these ones are not too bad. Some are bigger and there's more, and it's so hard because that's how you do playing cards, right? Game cards. But turn them that way. I know, simple, right? Such an easy thing, and yet for months I was trying to do it the other way. Anyway, the other thing you can do is you might like to spread them. I'll just show you here. See if we can spread them. So you might prefer to spread them out. When I first started, I'd also was learning how to use a pendulum, trying to open up my meridian systems, get my yes and no happening so that I didn't just need the pendulum eventually. I knew my own yes and no. But I still do this at times, and it's like my hand just stops. It doesn't want to go any further. So then I'm like, okay, is it this one? Yeah, nothing. Feel nothing. This one? No. This one? No. This one? Okay, no. This one. It's that one. As soon as I went there, my hand wanted to go down on it. So it's just getting to know your body and how it works. And again, deep breaths, centering yourself, feet on the ground, uncross your arms, uncross your legs, all those sorts of things. Have some water, hydrate, get the spirit energy moving, get the chi moving, get your connections open. Okay, so we've got boundaries was the card. And again, I would look at this card and I wouldn't just go, oh, boundaries. I would note some of the other things in here. For instance, I'm just going to put that up because that ring light is making it a bit difficult. For instance, I would be like, okay, it's what's really standing out here is the bubble. So that's actually reminding me right now about the bubble of protection. Now, a lot of people get heavily into protection. I didn't really start that way. There was something in me that went, I'm protected. I just know I'm protected. But at times, I wasn't always protected. So I did need to at times have that intention. So you might like to bring that into your beginnings, to ask Source to protect you, to make this bubble of energy over your cards and you and your connection to Source. So it's all just about you. Nobody else's business, nothing else here. This is for you. And you're wanting to keep that energy clear and only converse with high vibe energies, okay? High vibe intellects, consciousness that is perhaps just for you, Source, the highest energy and potential that you can connect to, or spirit guides that are high energy, who have your highest good in mind, who are here to evolve everyone, who are here on that loving plane. Work out how it works for you. Once I'd set that intention, I never really had to think of it again. When I'd hold the cards and just center myself, that would be part of what was happening. But you may, to begin with, feel you need to. If you're not able to wield your energy in quite the same way, you may need to protect yourself, put yourself in a bubble of high vibe energy, right? Connecting to the highest source for the highest good for you and for those around you. This is what your aim is to do, okay? And in there is that nakedness, being totally open to what there is. It's a vulnerable space when you have these things brought forward as cards and issues, right? Maybe the card is boundaries and it's like, oh, okay, what is it about boundaries that's so important? Okay, so you can do it that way with the spread. The other way is, I'm going to leave that boundaries card out as if it was our first card, just because we can. And the other way is to shuffle. Now you may get this feeling that you want to stop and it's the top card. As you can see, by shuffling this way, they quite often come out like this. So that's pretty obvious to me. Sometimes they flick on the floor. If you had a couple of things, and so the card is actually the unexpected. So don't always expect what's going to happen, right? Being a little loose and free with the cards allows sometimes for things to actually fall out. So if you're too tight about how you do things, oh, it's got to be this way. I always cut the cards. I always cut the cards and take the first card, or I always do this, or I only do so many cards. That's limiting what spirit need to speak to you about. And they may need more cards. Remember, there's only so many pictures and words that they may need more cards to convey what is needed for you. And they may want you to have more than one card. They may not want you to necessarily do the spread that is here in the book. They may want you to follow their pathway. So being open to that, letting the unexpected happen, because that will give you more freedom and more connection. So for me, I usually do 3, I wouldn't say cards because it can be more than one card, but I do 3 sections to my readings. Sometimes it's just one card. Sometimes I get, oh yeah, I need 4 cards. Sometimes I just know this, right? But otherwise I tend to work with my first card being the priority focus. So this one was boundaries, protection. It could be a question. So it could be that I had a question about my love life or my relationship with my mum or my workmates, right? Something going on that basically that card represents the question. It could also be an area of focus. And it could be like I do, show me my priority focus. I rarely come with a question or an area that I'm looking to know about nowadays. In the beginning, I had quite a few, right? Things were happening. But generally speaking, I'd start every day with a reading going, what is my priority focus today? What is my priority focus? It would be the highest thing on my list for me to know that I was dealing with that. So even though I might have had all these regular things going on, at the top was the concept of boundaries. That's what they brought through. Okay, awareness around boundaries. What am I going to be doing with boundaries? Okay. Now I might then ask, is there more to this? Is there another card to do with this? And they may say, no. I might get that, no more cards. Trust that feeling. But you might also get yes. And then you would pull another card and say another card come out. Let's just see what comes out. Fruition. So I don't know how that relates, but boundaries and fruition might be the first concept, the focus, the question, the area, depending on how you've approached it. And being a little bit loose in your allow for the unexpected, allow for them to show you a direction you didn't even expect. You were wanting them to do career and money, and now they're talking to you about boundaries that has then led to fruition. Fruition of what? What outcomes? Okay, what does that mean? Like you now are just sitting in this space of, okay, I'm curious to know more, right? So then we would look at, I'm going to keep all those cards out. The fruition one isn't necessarily fully aligned. We're not trying to do a reading here. I'm just trying to show you how to do things, and these cards may have meaning for you. They may not. The other thing is to look at the pictures, note the pictures, see what, have a good look at it. What are you drawn to? What is there that is really, and for me, it's this mask. So maybe boundaries and masking your needs, or masking, standing behind a mask and not doing whatever, those might be the beginnings of some sort of like, I feel like it's that. Okay, so write some of these initial thoughts down, and then you can either pull all your cards and then write stuff down and let what comes, and have a good look at the cards, have a look in the book. I recommend you loosely look at this first, run your finger over and let it see if there's anything that wants to, okay, my finger stops here. Is it just the word? So it says, is it the sentence? It's a battle we might have to fight more than once, but we will be resilient and vigilant, and fight it we will. For when we win, and we will win, the rewards are great. Okay, so this must be around the fruition, even though that's there's a totally different waning crescent card, right? But that's where I was. But if I was to look up fruition, there might be something there. I might even be led to the book, because this is a little source book, all of its own, that Spirit can go, oh yeah, I want to take you to certain bits. So just understanding that it's a bit of a puzzle. Be open to it. Don't be rigid, okay? People who get really rigid and I always do it this way, I always do it this, you're starting to limit Spirit from being able to connect to you. Don't do that. Open it up. Okay, so then our second section, and I've literally had all these cards fall out like this. I've got this one, the masculine and self-reflection here. So I'm kind of feeling like they don't belong to this. Are they? I'm feeling no. And these two do. So now here we are with boundaries and fruition, the unexpected. And this is the second thing. So the second part of what I usually do is what you may not be aware of, or what there is more to know on the subject. Okay, so it's bringing forward something you might not have thought about in regards to this subject. It might be something you've been ignoring. It might be something you didn't even have knowledge about. So it could be the masculine. So, okay, is it boundaries? Boundaries around what? Is it the masculine as in men? Do I have some issues there? Self-reflect on this. What's in the pictures? What else is here? Remember, they're not just showing you very specific things. And as you go along, it gets a little bit more deeper, a little bit more, I'm connecting to a doorway, I'm moving through a phase, which we just have with the 6-6 phase. all sorts of things can start to be showing themselves. It could be any of this stuff. So you just got to be in an open mind, see what wants to pop in. You may get a thought, an image, a feeling, what's connecting, what's in the pictures that is attracting, and just write all these things down. So we've got some second work here. Working with these things is what you may not be aware of, and or what more is there to know, or am I ignoring something around my boundaries? Okay, or is there something I really need to pay attention to? So maybe the boundaries, the problem is the masculine. The masculine could be that you're not actioning enough, or you're taking the wrong actions, or all sorts of things. So the third sort of set that I do is the key to it all. So the outcome, what is you looking to move towards, the transformation, the key to the transformation. What is it I'm going to get? So again, I would usually just have one card for my priority focus, one for what is it I need to know about it, and one for the key transformation. What's this going to lead me to? Where am I headed here? What's going on? But again, I would ask each time, do I need another card? Do I need another card? And so you can end up with more cards to create the picture that you really need. So sometimes it can be very simple. Other times it can require a little bit more to it. And I feel like I've just got to the end. I don't want to shuffle anymore. So I'm just going to take the top card. And it's blossoming. Okay, so we're just blossoming. And there's beautiful green. And green is peace. Green is the heart. Green is something that the transformation is peace. The transformation is that you'll have more room to blossom when you overcome these boundaries, when you allow yourself to become more of a doer with the divine masculine and more able to self-reflect on where it is that maybe you have problems with masculine, any of that kind of thing. Okay, there is a multitude of what could be here. That's the beauty of cards and why they work with so many different people, because there is so much available for interpretation. So writing it down is important because that gives you space to think about it, for it to unfold. If you don't fully get it, that's okay. Don't try and nut it out. Go, okay, I'm in the flow here. I've been shown something. It will unfold. More will come to be. You could be in the shops listening to a couple over there having a conversation, and you're like, oh my God, that relates to what I was looking at, in my reading this morning. Or you could be driving in the road and there's a big billboard and you go, oh God, that relates to it as well. So all little pieces are coming together. You also may have a dream that night that also is part of it. Remember too that you are shuffling energy. It's all about strengthening our energy, getting us stronger so that we aren't interfered with by the matrix, the conditioning. That's that bubble at the very beginning. Okay, so that we are who we naturally are, our natural self, our nice naked natural self. We don't have to mask ourselves. We don't have to be somebody different. Okay, we don't have to put all the fruits and bells and whistles on there to let other people in. And this is it, letting other people in. Men, women, friends, spirit. Okay, lovers, whoever's. Yourself, your higher self. Letting that in regards to what I'm discussing, very much about letting your spirit self, your higher self, your source self in, and all that wants to guide you, all that is here. And that will allow you to blossom. That will allow you peace. That will allow you to bring peace to others as you grow and you learn and you share, just like I am now, having travelled all the journey that I have so far. And I'm not there. I'm still growing, still evolving. As you get to a level, there is more, right? The fun and games of spirituality. So let me see what else is in here that I might not have spoken about. Okay, so leave some space in the journal if you feel you didn't fully understand it, and then you can come back and fill those things in as Spirit has shown you in your everyday life. Again, colours, symbols, words, thoughts. Remember, this is a journey. Let it unfold. And finally, just thank and bless your spirits, yourself, your guides, source, these cards, keeping them lovingly fresh and clean. So you have that energy to do that over time. I don't need to clear a pack that I get. Like if I get a pack, I just give it a big intention to clear it. But I don't need to do a lot with it. You may need to, because remember, as you bring these things in, these ideas in, you start to shed that energy as well. And so if someone's used your cards, it's okay to let people use your cards so long as you're aware that, okay, I need to cleanse and clear them. The best way, when I first started, I used to keep my cards and my pendulum in a little bag with a little piece of tumbled selenite. And every so often I would sit them on a very big piece of selenite that I had that was a candle holder. There's lots of rituals and ways that you can do things. Finding yours is the right one. And some things too are going to change over time. So you may be doing it a certain way and then it doesn't quite feel right, or it's not working for you anymore. That's time to step it up. That's time too to start using more of your intuition. There is the books, and some of it is perfect to begin with. You just go, oh my God, everything in there is right. But there's a lot in here, and there's not always everything is right. And there comes a point where this is just a thing to focus you, to get you into the spirit mode, spirit mood, to actually connect in. And it may be that you just need a little bit of a push, a little bit of a word or a picture or whatever it is, and then you're tuning in yourself. You're starting to feel, hear, see, get impressions. Most people don't see stuff in their mind so much or hear. Let me be clear here. I don't often hear a different voice. I hear my own voice. But I know that own voice now. I know the old ego voice, the one that was mean and nasty and always pulling me apart. And it still has its place sometimes, and sometimes it can be very subtle and act like it is helping me. But basically, I know where it feels from and where it comes from. I know the feeling that it comes with it. So I know it's not my voice, even though it's my brain saying the words. Also, a lot of things that come through, I wouldn't say them ordinarily, or they're words I don't know and I have to look them up, or what is the meaning of that? Like I don't even know what that is, and then it takes days to unfold. So that's all part and parcel of the connection that you're establishing. And oracle cards are just a tool. Over time, you may love them and want to keep using them, but they may not work for you anymore. So be prepared for that. Or you need a new pack, or they just come and go when needed. In the beginning, absolute godsend. Absolute godsend. They really help you to connect and to resolve a lot of things and to open you up to things you didn't even know were a thing, right? You didn't even know that was a problem for you, or that you carried that energy, or that had imprinted on you. So yeah, I think I started saying, but impressions. So the impression is often this, it just drops in, I get an idea. If I start speaking it, it's quite a long thing to say, but when it came into my mind, it was like a little impression. I didn't actually see a picture, but I had a sense of a picture. So that is probably how most people, I don't know, I can't say, I don't know how you do it, but I want to make that bring that awareness to that. Trusting yourself, trust, have fun, enjoy them. You're on a journey, and it's just so wonderful to have this amazing tool, and they're so available now. They're everywhere. You can get them online, but you'll find them in some of the major stores, bookstores, and there are actual specific crystal and spiritual stores, but you'll even find them in places like Big W and stuff nowadays. Amazing, right? It's becoming very mainstream. It's not as weird as you think. Anything else? No? Let your intuition do the walking. That's it. It's your journey, darlings. So, any questions you have, anything I might have said here that I didn't fully flesh out for you and you want to know a bit more, please just ask me. It's not a problem to answer that. Okay, wishing you the best. Have fun with your cards. And yeah, I love talking to you guys. It's been great. And I feel like I should have done an actual reading, but I think that's enough. Okay, bye.